Paul, disappointing to lose the game of it at the end, but it's minutes in the tank and that type of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I am disappointed to lose, but it isn't about that for me, obviously. I could lose all the pre-season games. It's about what we do next Saturday. But it was just good to see, for large parts of the game, the lads getting the press right, getting the boring stuff about defending throw-ins right, and I thought we had a real vibrancy to ourselves when we were playing forward, so I really liked it. I mean, I would have paid 20 quid for a ticket, so no, I really enjoyed it. So from that point of view, I feel like the lads are, each week goes by getting more like a team that I want to manage.
Was it 20?
Well, it would be 20 quid on a league game.
Yeah,
it is on a friendly. Is it 20 quid on a friendly?
I don't think so. I think it's probably less.
I thought it was 20 quid on a league game. I might be wrong, but I would pay 20 quid for that. But that's how I like football to be. I like it to be quick. I like crosses in the box. I like people working really hard for the team, and we definitely got that tonight. So scoreline aside, I was really pleased.
Yeah, I mean there was definitely an energy which you don't always get in pre-season necessarily. Playing up quickly, good goal. Aaron Collins is in good form going into the new season, hopefully. And the goal wasn't, I'm not going to call it simple, but it was...
That was a good finish, wasn't it? It was a good ball in, but I like my teams to cross the ball, and I like to have a 9 in the middle of the 6. So it was a great finish. You're right, he's in good form, and I thought the three of them first half had a real chemistry, and they've got a licence to roam, so I don't mind where any of them play as long as they cover the positions out of possession, which they did pretty well. And there's times where we were nearly perfect, like I was thinking, oh my God, and then the last pass is just a bit behind, or the shots are just a bit off target, but it just looked a lot more polished tonight. Now we're getting a little bit closer, and that's really what you want.
I mean, the goals came when the back four had changed. It was a teenage back four, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a youth club back four, wasn't it? In fairness, but I mean, both really good finishes. The second one's disappointing because I don't think we've come out with any bravery to take one for the team, as they say. But yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, for 70 minutes, I was really pleased how the game went, and the lads. I mean, the disappointing thing, obviously, that's our fourth centre half injured in a week, which is, if you look, probably in the world record books. I don't think I've ever had that before, so that's disappointing. But luckily we've got Jack joining back in on Thursday, so as always, it's next man up, so we can't cry about it. But that is the disappointing thing from tonight. But yeah, mostly positives. I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, I mean, for Sam, obviously it's disappointing at any time, but he looked like he might not have a future at the club. Last couple of months of last season, got injured, all of that. Looked like he might have a future at the club, which he might have, which he probably still has, but very disappointing that he's obviously got injured.
Yeah, it's always disappointing for the players if they get injured this late in pre-season. Like, we had good news about Nathan, he's only out for a couple of weeks, which is great news. But I think as a player, if I put my player's head on and I was playing tonight and I started tonight, although that isn't necessarily my starting 11, I think, right, could give a good performance tonight. I'll give myself a good chance to play again on Saturday, which gives me a good chance to play again next week, however that looks. So for anyone to get injured this late is hard to take, because you've done all the hard work, however, when he does come back, at least he's got all that in the tank. So he's done all the hard running and that. So in that respect, it is a tough pill for him. Hopefully it might not be too severe, and it might just be a spasm. But my gut feeling for him is obviously disappointment. That's the honest truth.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody, I suppose at this point, they've shown you to an extent what they can do. So when they do come back in a week or month or whatever, they're not going to have to prove themselves in the same way, I suppose.
No, that's absolutely true. Yeah, and he's done well in pre-season, done well in games, and obviously when I came in, he trained one day, I think, the last day I was here. So you do well to make a really good impression. But yes, I feel for him, and unfortunately, that's the side of football which is hard to take at times.
One more pre-season game. Are you happy in your head that you've got the starting 11 for Oldham pretty much?
I have, if we sign another 11. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased where we're at. I still think we definitely need another couple of bodies in, which I will endeavour to try and do. But if we went into the game next week with the group we've got, I'd be really pleased. Like I said, they've got the messaging really well. They've been coached really well. Rich and Potsy have done really well with them. So I think they've got the messaging, which is good. And yeah, I think we've got enough to attack League Two. But you'd always want more, wouldn't you? That's the joy of being a manager. So yeah, if I can strengthen it, I will.
Other than that, are you where you hope to be at this point, would you say?
Yeah, minus the mini injury crisis at the back line. But yeah, generally speaking, I think, yeah. But what's good about pre-season and also bad about pre-season, it exposes your weaknesses and shows your strengths. So I can see what our strengths are, but I can also see what our weaknesses are. So I was thinking tonight, like, you know, thought Gethin played well. If something happened to Gethin, bit of a problem. If something happens to Joe, bit of a problem. So, however, the front line is quite fruitful. But who doesn't want a fruitful front line? I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer, isn't it? So if I can get more fruit up there, I will. And obviously Scotty's coming back at the front line as well. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased where we're at. And hopefully by the time we get to the first game, we'll be in really good nick. But I am pleased where they're at the moment.
I mean, the front line, I mean, if they did that every game, and there's Lang and Collins, just as a starter, that'd be okay, wouldn't it? I mean, you know, they do seem to be working well.
Yeah, they get on really well. They're close. The whole six of them are close, to be fair. So they do work really well. There is a really good chemistry, which is good. They want each other to do well, which obviously helps. But I still didn't think that they were at their best tonight as a front three. I still think there's a lot more to come, which is exciting, and hopefully that's what, you know, people of the city want to come and watch.
How's Lawrence Maguire? I spotted him up in the stands as well. We've not really seen him at all since he's come back from Spain.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's done a tendon injury on his hamstring that he done at the weekend. So he's going to be out for a long period, 8 to 10 weeks. So he can only do slow jogging. It's like an injury which is hard because it's a tendon with the blood flow. It takes a lot longer to get through. So yeah, so he's just doing slow jogging. Again, it's sad for him because he's done a lot of pre-season, looked really good in pre-season, really fit. So for him to get that injury, like from an innocuous part of the game, is disappointing. So yeah, so he's out. I'm not laughing about it. I'm just laughing about the fact they all seem to be out at the back line, which is odd. They're in great nick, but you know, injuries happen. Is
that where you're looking to strengthen then in that defensive cordon, or is it? I mean, once you get the bodies back, you kind of sport for choice really then after that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that with any position on the pitch, any line on the pitch, I just want to get the best I can possibly get. So you know, I've had a few honest conversations with some of my players and saying that you've got a future here. However, between now and the window shut, and if I sign 2 players better than you in your position, it's a problem, isn't it? That's the honest truth. So with the dearth of available centre halves, then that would be something we want to strengthen. I feel like we need a little bit more pace in the back line and a bit more aggression, possibly. I'd like to be dominant in both. Well, in fairness to the lads, we haven't done a lot on set pieces yet because we don't want to show our hand because, you know, like, I mean, this is a bit weird, but Revs came from Stevenage today to watch us play, and we're playing them Saturday, so that's very busy. But fair play to him. But what I mean is I don't want to show Oldham what my set pieces look like, sure. But I just think that if we could get another defender who was, you know, very good at set pieces, that'd be great. And I would still like another physical 9, which I've been banging on about for quite a while. But I do think we need another option up top. So they would be my main 2 focuses. I'll wake up tomorrow, it might be 2 others. I might want 3 left backs, but they're the ones that I think would strengthen this group. But if we don't get them, we don't get them. I won't cry about it. But there's a long time between now and when the window shuts. So, and there's a lot of movement after. I always think after the first 2 league games, clubs panic and think, oh my God, we need to get something else in, and they get something else in, which allows us to get their 3rd choice one, and vice versa, by the way. So yeah, so hopefully we can strengthen a little bit, and if we don't, we don't. But I'm really pleased with the group. They're a tight group now, which is great, and got a couple to come back. So we're looking quite, good, healthy, I think.
You mentioned your youth club at the end there. it's important to have that opportunity for the youngsters to come and play in games like this, and just to be in front of your eye, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's a a great experience to play. There was some real pace for Peterborough's front line at the end, so it's a real good taste. But like, in fairness, they're not here to make numbers up. They're here to make a career for themselves. So, they join in. I have a lot of them join in training a lot. So they're training with the the seniors all the time, which is a good experience. This is another good experience, and hopefully there'll be good experiences to go forward with. There's always games, and like you said already, alluded to, you get injuries. You need to see the ones that you can step up, and you don't know until you see them. So I thought tonight that Charlie Waller was excellent. So out of the younger pros, so to speak, he's the one who stood out for me. I was really impressed with him. It's the first time I've seen him play centre half, so that's fair on him as well. But I thought he was really good. So yeah, and that every time they train, every time they play, every time they walk past me in the tunnel, every time they drop a bottle and don't pick it up, I'm on them all the time. So there's always an opportunity to impress or to let themselves down. But they've handled themselves really well, and hopefully they'll have a good career at the club.